Have you ever been to the Valian Republics?
A couple of times. Plenty of mercenary
Muy buenas a todos, aquí estamos ya estoy un poquito mejor de la voz, como veis. Estamos ya en Avowed.
Envoy, what do you need? Let's make sure they're not listening. Who do you want to talk about? Right. Thanks for talking.
Anyway.
No sé por qué nos marca hablar, y luego no.
That's where...
Ah, bueno, para que agotemos los diálogos con ellos, ¿no?
I'm a man of hidden depths. What's not to love about floating islands and a spectral tree? Besides, as divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse. True enough. Makes me wonder if confinement was the real goal, or simply the only option at the time. One thing's for sure, imprisonment has only riled Sapidol up. Judging from their outbursts at Mount Forja and Nakukubel, they haven't exactly taken this time to reflect and relax. Aha. I've heard that one before. Usually before a lot of tears, a lot of drinks, and a lot of, I should have known better. Still, you taught me that a person can grow beyond their flaws. Why wouldn't the same be true of a god? I hope you're right, because we are all in trouble if you're wrong. I don't envy you having to deal with the loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess you're going to have if, I mean, when, we escape this place. While we're tracking down your god, things are heating up between your Adiran comrades and the locals. You may have averted the attack on Fjord, but this is one situation where it's the thought that counts. And yeah, I know that's on the Steel Garrote, but it's not lost on anyone that your people despise animancy. Not when Heelgard banned the practice in Paradise. Oh, I wish I were finished. Ringram may have unleashed some powerful magic against the Dream Scourge, but she left a lot of corpses in her wake. That doesn't look good for your people. Not when Ludwig was also in the region, and your people had a garrison at Eagle's Reach. And then there's Solace. You might have saved the keep, but no one's going to talk about the disaster that didn't happen. They're going to talk about why Mount Forja erupted after all this time. You'd be surprised where people can find blame when they're spun up. And it looks real bad when a Steel Garrote force just so happened to be there when it went down. Fairly or not, a lot of blame's gonna be laid at Adir's door. And if I had to guess, I don't think Hilgard's been helping matters while you've been out here. If and when we get out of here, we're walking into a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy. I admire your principles, but don't underestimate what they could demand of you. Look, I've been there. I fought for Rauatai's interest in the Deadfire for longer than I like to admit. I lost my stomach for it eventually. That's how I wound up here. But I will tell you now, I never could have fought my own brothers and sisters. I hope that's not what it comes down to. But I'll understand if that's a line you can't cross. I don't mean to burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face. Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you till the end of this. Anytime. Good night, Envoy.
Vale, pues ya hemos acabado los diálogos con este. Vamos a hablar con Yazli, creo.
Envoy, pinch me. I must be dreaming. I've long imagined what the garden could look like, but... even all the depictions I've seen in all the ruins, it didn't do it justice. And that's not even counting all the little surprises we've gotten. And you! You're on the way to meet your god. Years of being an unclaimed godlike. And now, it feels like a typhoon of information has hit us. I've yet to catch my breath. There are even floating sky islands. How are you staying so calm? You could be a bit more excited. I just want to focus on memorizing everything I can. The architecture is obviously in pristine condition, let alone... Just be sure to remember everything we see. I'll want to pick your brain later. Our travels together may have changed me, Envoy, but not that much. This place is... It's more than I could have ever dreamed. I know we have to find your god and figure out what to do with them, but... Oh, I almost feel like I could stay here forever. I suppose. It's worth thinking about, at least. Still, I just... Oh, it's breathtaking here. And think how much I could learn here. Pockets of time in the lives of the Akita are here, and... Oh, but we've not even gotten to the end yet. We haven't seen everything. Let's get moving. I'm starting to suspect that every single leader in the Living Lands is incompetent. Truly, is there no vetting process? Hopefully those in Solace Keep will choose their leaders with more care in the future. But we should check on Marius. I'll make him some soothing perfume, but I think a few words from you would help too. Lovely. Another point in your favor, Envoy. I do not envy the Pargrunen in any case. Meeting that council gave me a new appreciation for Vidal. There's always a way for things to get worse, dearie. I wouldn't be surprised. We're losing focus on the important things. Things like the garden. Oh, come on, Envoy, let's get going. How can I help, darling? Sweet dreams, Envoy.
Vale, vamos a hablar con esta.
So, this is it. The spiritual epicenter of the Living Lands. Where it all began. And where it all ends. For so long I have looked out on a horizon full of possibilities. Now that it's here, I'm too scared to breathe. Oh, why am I so anxious? I suppose you're right. I'm frightened, I'm excited. I'm a lot of things right now. Do you remember when Manto Pastor sent you after the heart of an Adragan? That was nothing compared to this. We are standing in the beating heart of the Living Lands. Just imagine what we can do with it. And only one chance to get it right. My parents were going to build a better world for Animancers. That dream was their legacy to me. You and I have come farther than they did. To an impossible place where anything can happen. Anything. I'll try to remember that. I don't know what's going to happen, but you've had my back since the beginning. I won't forget it. I don't know what I expected. Everything here feels wrong, as if we're standing in the eye of a storm. Can you feel it? Essences radiating from the very stones on which we walk. This is a place of power, forgotten by time. We are insignificant by comparison. Does that answer your question? Thank goodness. One word of advice. Trust nothing you see or hear. For all we know, this is happening in your head. Or better yet, in mine. Well, that depends. I know a few spooky stories about the living lands. They may or may not have anything to do with the garden.
Okay. But if something goes bump in the night, I'm waking you up.
Let me think of a good one. There are so many, I can't decide. Which do you want to hear first? I know one about a ranger's dream, one about a haunted well, and one about a golden city. One sunny day, a ranger took a nap in the woods of Emerald Stair. He awoke to a forest of dead trees, the night sky full of unfamiliar stars. After getting his bearings, he walked in the direction of Fior Mesiverno, but the settlement was gone. In its place was the most beautiful garden, hills bursting with flowers, the grass as soft as Valian silk. Enchanted by this vision, he bent to pick a rose, but its thorn cut like a knife, severing 3 fingers. Then, a voice filled his head, shouting, "Go now, before the land takes you, body and soul." He awoke in his own bed, a wilted rose clutched in his 2-fingered hand. It's nonsense, of course, but that's why I like it. Who could rest at a time
Vale,
like this?
dejemos las historias.
Does anyone want to share a scary
Y me queda
story?
hablar con este.
Envoy, what do you need? You too.
Vale, vamos a dormir.
No.
A breath held. Trepidation. You are close, yet distant still. Your soul is small. The essence weighs like the sea on your chest. We feel the pressure, darkness, yet somehow strengthened resolve. We wonder. We did not foresee this. A debt of knowledge we concede. The seabed speaks in riddles, a pearl whose shell we cannot grasp. No, we must recall, plumb the depths of our memory. We would run, roll with the tide, sink our fingers into new earth. Whisper in the fields, lift the hills gently in our hands. Disturb the dirt, but spare the blooms. Shake the roots slowly. Vengeance denied, squandered. This cannot be. We spoke of growth. We speak of freedom when the hand still clasps around our throat. Wake now. Find us.
Vale, vamos a continuar. Hay una especie de... El cofre aquí.
What, like a tub?
Vale, estoy encontrando con otro camino, ¿eh? Alternativo. Ah, mierda. Tengo que congelar el suelo para llegar hasta aquí. Vale, al modo de caminante salvaje. Y nos devuelve aquí. Vale, voy a ver la armadura. A ver si es mejor que la que llevo. Bueno, la verdad es que no. Pero está chula. ¿Eh? Cambia de espada, ¿qué he hecho?
I see the disciple has found his way into the cell.
No. Clarion Steel. We know this voice. Why is she here?
I'm everywhere. My tools have mouths to speak.
Out. Out. Her voice pierces our skin.
Look at this place. A quagmire of your parasite's worst instincts. Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with? Apparently, I must. The situation is worse than I perceived. Do you think you're special, with your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland. You suspected. Then you must have understood why.
It is true. She twists the knife. The seas run red with memory.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained. Chaos has no respect for borders. It goes where it will. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with. Of course I do. The poor goddess, worshipping the very thing that subsumed her. We could not excise the rot and spare the roots that nourished it. There was none. Utmost chaos calls for unwavering rebuke. I see what you're implying. I will not acknowledge it.
Why does our prison not protect us? Help us! Silence her!
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Adir is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy. The answer is obvious to those with the courage to accept it. You are here now. There's still time to succeed where Ludwig failed. Face your false god and end its reign of terror permanently. Your soul, it is tethered to you. Only you can siphon its essence into yourself. Very well. I cannot force a child to bend to my will. But I will not stand by and watch you undo my work. You should have thought more carefully before you broke your oath to the Empire. Let this be a lesson to you.
I never thought I'd learn of the Godless's fate from their killer.
That's it. From now on, I pray to no god.
Bueno, vamos a continuar. Llave de sarcófago. Vale, vamos a guardar en este punto.
Look at that thing move. He's trying to study it before it kills us.
Oh, big mistake!
¡Ojo, ojo! ¡Hostias! Bueno, ha sido duro el puto bicho este. Vale, seguimos.
What is that? I know that place, right?
Esto es el sitio de del sacrificio este, ¿no? Estamos como en un recuerdo.
Oh no. No. Why is this? They're dead. Like it just happened. Like I remember.
This is the moment I found you, bundled and crying, while our parents died.
Viate. You're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Viate, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here. What I am now is much better than what I was becoming then. That much is certain.
I have faced this already. Why force me to do it again? Then for the god's sake, what is it? I am exhausted, Viate. I can't take much more of this.
You know where we are. This is my memory. When everyone died, and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
We dealt with Razvan. He got what was coming to him.
Sapadal wants to understand. They know your envoy very well, but not the people next to them.
I have what I needed. We dealt with Razvan. We avenged our parents' deaths.
Then maybe it was I who needed to speak with my Viate. with a clear mind this time. Even when we were children, you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
I know. And I'm not sure I'll ever live that down. I don't think I know how.
You've always done everything you could to survive. It's time for you to learn how to live.
So, what do we do now?
I feel strongly that there's nothing left to forgive.
Easier said than accepted, Viate. Forgiving myself is the hardest part. We've both been through so much. But I can see that it's all behind us now. Just another thing we've survived after all this time.
A fine way to put it. I see it too. You've come a long way from that scared boy who refused to wear shoes for fear a bug might crawl out of it.
That was you, Nimdut. Look at my feet. Shoes. Colmillo.
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
Well, it was good to see you, Viate. Even with all this.
Take care of my little friend, envoy. He needs you more than he'll say.
Vale.
Couldn't have done it better.
Vale, vamos a coger algo de comer.
Marius, dear. How are you feeling?
I'm alright. Good to see an old friend, you know?
Saying goodbye, that's the hard part.
You can talk to us, Marius. That is, if you think talking will help.
Well, obviously it wasn't my favorite thing,
Grief is strange. You lose something, and you carry around a little hole inside yourself till you die. Or maybe the sailors.
Vale, aquí hay como un camino. Algo. Ah, mira, he vuelto al... He vuelto al punto de guardado, ¿no? Ok, vamos a descansar entonces.
Where did you... learn to hunt?
Early on, I learned from a warden named Elenka.
Vale. Bueno, voy a volver a recorrer este camino.
Sorry, envoy. Let's talk about it back at camp, right?
Vale, pues ¿para qué te quedas ahí? Vale, vamos a seguir. Guardamos aquí.
Let's finish this. Under my
Nada, la porra. Your reputation is well deserved. Vale, tenemos que hacer el puzzle, ¿no? De las puertas esta. Tenemos otro camino por ahí. Y otro camino por allí. Bueno, por ahí es donde he venido realmente. Vale, vamos a guardar.
Wait, isn't that Tama's camp?
This room, it looks just like Tama's. Tama. No. No. I dealt with this. We stood at his memorial together. What is this, Envoy? This is your God's prison, not mine. I can't tell. I can't focus on his face. His features keep blurring, changing. I'm not sure. I know it's him, but I don't recognize him as the Tama I knew. It's like he keeps changing in front of me. Does that make sense? That's the problem. I can't picture him anymore. I used to remember his face so clearly from that night. His rigid jaw, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners. He was in pain, but trying to hide it. I see everything. All his moments at once. Joy, sadness, anger, or heartbreak, stomachache. Everything from the handful of years that I knew him and the decades before we'd met. He's almost a stranger. I'm not. All this time I kept him frozen in his worst moment. When he was suffering and when I failed him. But now that I see him as more, it's like he's free of that. It means something's finally got through my ridged skull, despite my best efforts. You're right. I am. It's like you said. His memory is no longer a burden. For the longest, I was afraid to let go of this moment, like I'd be letting him go if I did. And now I see I was just holding on to something that was weighing us both down. Better than I could have said it. I never thought I'd meet someone I respect the way I respected Tama. But you've made some tough calls, and you've kept your head and your heart in the right place. So whatever comes next, I'm with you until the end. Now let's go find this god of yours and end the dream scourge. When we reach them, what do you think we'll find? A victim? A villain? True enough. Let's end this. I'll follow your lead, as always.
Bueno, un poco movida, ¿no? Nos va dejando aquí a la peña. Como sus recuerdos, sus mierdas para ver sus debilidades, creo. Ajá, aquí hay un...
Child's play.
secretillo. Vale, me falta otra, ¿no?
If you insist.
Vale, tengo que buscar el otro coso que se abre. O sea, con este he abierto ese. Vale, pero tiene que... Ah, mira, ¿dónde está el otro? A ver. Vale. Vamos a guardar.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or am I going mad?
Parece como que me los está entreteniendo.
Can't we take a closer look? Please?
Vale, desde aquí llego otra vez al este.
No time to waste. We need to find your god.
Vale, vamos a guardar otra vez allí en el punto este. Vale, vamos a descansar otra vez.
I came here to help you do whatever you're supposed to do with your god friend. Instead, I'm here talking to dead people. I've heard about the garden all my life, and I never expected something like that. But thanks to you, I think I was ready for it. I mean, it was blessed bizarre, but I could handle it. No, I was thinking more in terms of hunting for wild game and peeing on Kai to put the fires out. It's been a bit of a ride, Envoy. I feel like it's coming to an end. One way or another. I don't know. Maybe the unexpected isn't so bad after all. I never expected you and I would become friends. Quick note. If you tell any of the others I said that, I'll poison your drink. Anyway. If I must.
I've heard of strange colors in the sky, and weeks of twilight in the white that wins. I barely plan further than the next meal, and you're asking me? I don't know, Envoy. I just try to take each day and each battle as it comes. And you can see where that's gotten me. But I think it's possible to be too prepared. Exactly. Yeah. You know what all of us think by now. Ultimately, you're the one who has to decide what to do with Sapado and where your loyalties lie. My advice? Get a good night's rest, and when the moment comes, follow your instincts. And I stand by it. Next time you need to find a bakery, I'm your man. You're the one who found a god's prison. I hear you, though. It's easier to give that advice than to take it. But look at it this way. Whatever you choose, you'll end the Dream Scourge, and you'll give the living lands a future. And I'd wager that's better than where we are now. Rest while you can. We're almost at the end of this.
There's my favorite Adiran. Careful what you wish for, darling. So, the Godless, or the Akida, as they called themselves, were the original folks who lived in the living lands. They arrived on the shores of a new land and settled there, living with the land instead of trying to tame it. You sound certain. Is this something Sapado told you? Wait, they would have been there, wouldn't they? That means I was right. Well, was there ever any doubt? The Godless are so singular. Their art and architecture, you never see it in Rawatai or Ishamatal or, well, Adir. But in their artwork, they reference escaping, fleeing, seeking refuge, so they must have come from somewhere. My guess, they originally came from Yesua. Yesua, a continent, cut off from the rest of the world, hidden by eternal storms, one of the 3 hubs of the Angwithan Empire. 10 years ago, you could say it wasn't real, that it was a dream, but they said the same of Ukaiso. Suddenly, the appearance of a mythical land doesn't seem so implausible. There was some kind of schism, an ideological one. From what I can glean, the Godless were staunchly against the gods, and hence their name. There are even some not-so-kind murals of the gods. It seems like the Godless really took their anti-theism seriously. You're right. But no one knew that until your trip to Nakukubel, hence the name Godless. Now that we know that Sapado exists, it changes everything we thought we knew about the Akida. I knew following you was a good idea. It might have shaken my research to its core, but that's what makes it fun. Well, I think we've covered everything, don't you? Rather, as much as I think you'll withstand. Hope you enjoyed talking about this as much as I did, dearie. How can I help, darling? I'm starting to suspect that every single leader in the living lands is incompetent. Truly, is there no vetting process? Hopefully those in Solace Keep will choose their leaders with more care in the future. But we should check on Marius. I'll make him some soothing perfume, but I think a few words from you would help too. Lovely. There's always...
I once heard rumors about a cataclysm in the Deadfire. Something about the lost city of Hokkaido.
Vale, vamos a seguir. Vale, tengo que recorrer otra vez todo. Qué tostón, ¿no? Va a llegar un momento en que encontraré la llave del arconis. A ver qué esconde. Me voy a puto caer, ya lo estoy viendo venir.
See all this in its heyday, in its full splendor.
I should have brought my sketchbook.
Vale, pues ya hemos librado la batalla contra toda esta panda. Había que una mana máxima. Nos han sacado. Eso se queda bugueado. Hay que un cabrito. Vale, por ahí me mato. Joder, qué bien. Vale, hemos descubierto todas las cosas que había aquí, yo creo. Que me caigo. Vale, voy a ver las dos armas que he encontrado. Hemos encontrado destructor y ojos. Esta maza sería la pepinada, ¿no? Vamos a catar esta super mapa. Vamos a seguir. Creo que ya he cogido todo lo que había. Y aquí tenemos el recuerdo, ¿no?
We have been here. We were here all the yesterdays before. The shale rises to smother us. Keep them out. Keep us in. We feel no spark of the Tabari Sinakis in this place. We cannot see it through their eyes. We slumber here, alone. Still wings, the clear glass of the pond. They took it all away. A tide of souls thrown upon the wheel. The ground gives way. We fall. Now our memory is a wound reopened. They came suddenly. The stillness of night split by grinding steel. We had no time to speculate. First, they blinded us. Shining eyes pierced the concealing dark. Then they burned. Smoke ensnared the moonlight. The Akita screamed. A means to an end. We saw a terrible design in the roaring flames. They had carved a path to the temple. We were their true prey. A jug to catch water. We overflowed. We persisted. We were everywhere. How could they cull the wind? How could they trap the stars? Then, they turned to what the Akita had made. They toppled the statues. They set the libraries ablaze. A mouth silenced. A record of time rendered in ruins. The Akita howled. They died. We cried out, sundered soul by soul. We broke the earth, called down the storm, flung lightning from our hands. But they marched on. We grew tired. In fury, we exposed ourselves. Weakened, they advanced on us, they struck. They raised machines, we tried to tear down the garden's walls. Then, nothing. We floated in a great glass eye. The fog closed in on us. We reached out, but the machines held us in. We could not feel the new day's sun. Lay in the shifting tide. The cities crumbled. We could not save them. We could not save ourselves. Yet they did. A light snuffed out. We watched helplessly for aeons. Until you. We are the lamp, the bonfire, forces to be controlled. The wound numbs now. We watch as the river of time expands. In the silence of our prison we find clarity. How many voices lost? How many saplings have we cut down? We sink into the endless night. Perhaps we should be here. We are the rain, the swaying grass. What do they have to fear? A bindweed stricken from the garden. But who built the fence? Soil stirs. We have a new memory of this place. You opened the final lock, entered the hidden glade. You listened. You stand at a cliff now. We watch your footsteps carefully. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. We grow.
Vale, ahora tengo que seguir. Buah. Los mierdas de los. Ahora se la porra. Vale, me he cargado a estos tíos. Ya tengo que subir ahí. Que me he caído. ¿Cómo? Vale, ahora se ha abierto este camino. Antes no estaba. Vale, ya hemos cogido eso. Tengo que volver, yo creo que por aquí, ¿no? Coño, ¿y tú a qué vienes? ¿A pillar? Lo que me faltaba, tener que enfrentarme a dos mierdas de estos.
right as rain. This place feels... Let's go inside. This is the library from my dreams. It's real. This looks like the Akita building this place. Clearly, they wanted their story. I wonder who she was. She's familiar. Galawain's gonads. Envoy? I never told you this, but I've dreamed of this place every night for most of my life. This is a godless library. An actual, real-life godless library. It's why I study the godless, because this place has haunted me since I was a child. And that's the chair. It's the picture of coziness. Must you always default to military tactics? Finally, you've arrived. Ah, Barrett's balls. That took 10 years off my life. Wait. You must be the librarian from my dreams. Oh, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Oh, though, you do look quite familiar.
The resemblance is uncanny.
It has been quite some time. Too many years to number. Of course. You are an ancestor? A very fashionable one at that. No, child. We are the keeper of these tablets. Or have you already forgotten? Oh, of course. I was you in a past life. Oh, I'm such a fool. You lived with animancers, and yet the idea of awakening to your past lives never entered your mind.
Few can bear the mental and spiritual strain of an awakening. As often as not, it leads to madness.
Oh, darling, you know how I get around all the metaphysical talk.
That's why I'm here, remember?
I was the last of the Akita. Once the attack started, a few of us were charged with preserving as much of our history as we could. So we retreated with as much as we could carry. The attacks? You must mean... the Magfolk attacks. Yes, we've... heard... Is that the reason for the bodies outside? Yes. Your monstrous gods, who bought their divinity with blood and the souls of their faithful. They tried to butcher every last one of us. Must it always be literal blood? Oh, if all the Akidans outside were with you, you would have heard them as they were killed. But how did the Magfolk reach you in here? They didn't. Between the screams of my kin being slaughtered and the screeching of the Magfolk, I couldn't breathe. That's the screeching I heard in my dream, Envoy. I knew I recognized it when we killed that Magfolk. Once it was gone, there was nothing left. And perversely, I found the quiet worse. So I decided on another way. One that wouldn't give your gods the satisfaction. Poison. Well, at least you washed it down with some good wine. You're not helping, Envoy. Yatsley, you know what you must do now. I abandoned my duty to protect our history, but you... someone must tell the story of the Akita, and there is no one else. I'm already an expert. What more do you want me to do? Oh, think about it, Yatsley. You have been training to be the new protector of this collection since childhood. I couldn't ask for a better successor. But that was your duty. I have my own dreams. Yatsley, if you do not become the new librarian, there will be no other. The stories of the Akita will turn to dust, and my people, our people, will be forgotten. Just as the burned queen wanted all along. when she sent her magfolk to choke the life from us. This is all too much. What do you think, Envoy? That apprenticeship is more than I could have ever asked for. I don't know. That's hard to ignore. A chosen of Sapadal, yet you do not stand with your people. How disappointing. Our time is at an end, Yatsley. It's time for me to go. Wait! I've not even asked you any questions! Tell me about your marriage rights. Oh, did you mean for all your buildings to look so phallic? Unfortunately, my time is at an end. You must keep Yatsley alive. She is the last hope of the Akita. So this is goodbye. I wish we could have... No. I wish that all of you had a better ending. She's gone. Forgive me, Envoy, but we should get going. We can talk back in camp. Later.
Bueno. Aquí no hay nada más. No veo ningún cofre o truco para pillar. Vale, ya estamos aquí con los parkours.
I'll never understand the Akita's love for death.
Vale, nuevo campamento.
We survived. Somehow. If you don't mind, I need to catch my breath.
Esto no viaja hasta allá. Pero también nos baja. Podemos bajar hasta el otro atajo. ¿Dónde hemos venido? Vale, vamos a guardar y lo vamos a dejar en este punto.
There's always a weird sort of quiet on the eve of battle. I'm feeling that now. Seems like a good time to gather our thoughts and share a drink before whatever's coming.
Right. This seems like a perfect place to stop and relax.
Though it's hard enough to tell what's real here without a belly full of drink.
Sounds like you're nervous, dearie.
I'm feeling all kinds of ways. Anxious, excited, scared, hungry.
I feel it as well. It is only mortal to feel overwhelmed in the presence of the immortal.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. Getting to see that vision of Tama did me good. Like, I finally let go of something I'd been holding too long. Now that we're here, I'm eager to see this through. Nothing worse than holding your breath and waiting. I can't say that I'm prepared, but I'm ready.
I had a feeling you might ask me that. I'm not sure I've really worked through what I've seen here, but I am grateful for the chance to see Yonko again. I feel like we're almost done with all of this, but we are in the weirdest place in the world, so who knows? I'm completely baffled, but when haven't I been lately? Being afraid doesn't even feel scary anymore.
I think so. The garden is so much more than I expected. Full of contradictions. Wild, yet serene. We're close to something. A threshold between calm and crisis. Conflict and peace. Life and death. So am I. None of us could have gotten this far on our own.
Well, I won't lie to you, Envoy. A lot's happened. It's not every day that you learn that you're the last hope to carry on a legacy, but... well, here we are. Never literally talked to myself before either. I think I annoyed her. Me? Oh, I think I need another drink. But here we are. I just need a moment to take it all in. Thank you, dearie. I'll be ready by the time the fun starts. And I wouldn't worry. Our little group here is perfectly frightening, and I'm sure our enemies would agree. We'll be fine. I can't speak for anyone else, though.
You've listened to all of us. How about you? You've been through a lot since you arrived. You've been shipwrecked and assassinated, harangued by gods, bureaucrats, and a death guard. You've had your soul poked, your loyalties questioned, and your sleep regularly interrupted by a god with no respect for privacy. And yet you've kept yourself and all of us together. How are you really doing?
You're very resilient. Under different circumstances, I would credit your nature as a godlike. But we all know better. You're strong enough to survive anything. Zapadal picked a good soul when they made you.
That actually made sense to me. As if I've learned something about souls and whatnot.
I'll take that as a compliment.
How about you, Envoy? What keeps you so stoic in the face of everything?
Perhaps you don't need to understand. Your natural instincts are working hard enough.
When we first met, I didn't think you'd last long. But then I saw how you handled that dream thrall there. Shook off your own death like a bad cold. And then you confronted your own killer and let him go. It takes a special kind of strength to stay your hand in a moment like that.
I didn't know much about you at that point. You were traveling with Kai and you died, which I thought made a lot of sense.
I remember your calm. How you listened to my shouting match with the governor and actually heard me. You saved my city and gave me a home. A sanctuary where I could be myself. I'll never forget that.
You were my hero right away. You rescued me from those spoilers. You got my priceless face. What more could a girl ask for?
And now look at you. Look at us. How far we've come in a short time. Quite a lot, as it turns out. But the journey is worth it.
Not to raise the sails before the anchor, but we left trouble in our wake. Fjord, Thirdborn, Solace. If we make it out of here, it won't be to a living lands suddenly at peace.
Just this once. Could we forget about the rest of the living lands? Some of us could use a break.
That doesn't mean it's Giada's scary story time, does it?
I thought my stories were insightful.
If we can't take a moment to ourselves on a floating island outside reality, then I don't know where we can.
Right. We could all use some beauty rest. We'll want to look our best on the battlefield, won't we?
Get some rest. That goes for everyone.